always manage to shine. So ease up. Every time they see me, they always seem to ease up. I'm the new kid in town, so I might stick around. Reverse everything that you did, turn it into my shit. VAY, I'll be doing this till the day I die, trying to be in first place in this really big race.
Hello everyone, it is Malachi with GarageBand Tutorials. Alright, so we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and go through what we're going to cover. We're going to cover noise gate. We're going to cover compression. We're going to cover equalization or EQ. We're going to cover reverberation and echo. We're going to cover some other plugins, some cool stuff. We're going to cover pitch correction. We're going to cover panning. And we're going to cover the final mix and how to tie all this together. Now, if you want to get the full course, the link is in the description, so that way you can take the full course, which is roughly maybe about 4 hours, but you can skip around whatever you want to do with that. So this is just a little bite-sized experience that you're about to enjoy. So without further ado, we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and play this track. This has all the plugins, all the stuff is done, and you're going to get to hear how it sounds. This really mixed well. I did this for a client, and he wanted a lot of echo in his hooks and in his verses. At this point in my experience with mixing, I don't use a lot of echo. I use just a little bit of echo, a little bit of reverb, but he wanted this. And it still sounded pretty good with it. But I'm gonna let you guys hear it, and then we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna turn everything off, and then we're gonna just break this all down piece by piece, so that way you who are watching can do the same thing on your computer and mix your own music. There we go.
There was a long piece in there called "The Planet is Fine, the People are Fucked." We'll be gone. Dinosaurs had their chance. There was an age of reptiles. Now it's the age of primates.
Grinding out every dime. Yeah. Grinding out every dime. Yeah. I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time. And I wrote this at work, call it double time. In other words, it's a 24-hour grind. It ain't nothing, cut a bitch off, I don't got time. And like the sun, I just always manage to shine. So ease up, every time they see me, they always seem to ease up. I'm the new kid in town, so I might stick around. Yeah, I'm just a starter from the underground, climbing up the ladder, trying to get my fucking crown. You can try to stop me, but I'm never backing down. Hit the ass with a smile, cause you know I never frown. Psych, me mugging on the daily. I got these niggas fucked up, they think I'm crazy. Not fucking with these niggas if they're lazy, cause I'm on my grind and I'm trying to get paid, G. No, this shit ain't easy breezy. I don't fucking most of y'all just sleazy.
Okay, so of course, what we're going to be mixing today is rap vocals. Sometimes people don't want to learn how to mix, and I get it. They don't want to learn how to mix. They want someone else to do it. I get it, but they don't want to spend all the money to have someone mix it. I get that as well. Contact me. I will break you a very good deal, and I will mix your music. And when you hear the price I will mix it for, you will probably do a backflip, a cartwheel, and a somersault off your house. Be sure to contact me. You'll be very excited, and I can get your career started very quickly. Without further ado, we're going to get started. We're going to start with noise gate. I'm going to go ahead and focus on just the verse. I'm going to turn all this other stuff off except for the music. Maybe we're going to turn off the panning. Just pan that. That's interesting. I didn't finish the panning. Yeah, if you notice, this first verse sounded different than the second because the first verse was not properly panned. The second one was. You might have noticed that it had more of a natural, the second one had more of a natural feel, like you hear it on the radio. The first one did not. Panning is crucial. You must pan properly or it's not going to sound right. This was a perfect example. The final cut, this is a draft file, but the final file did have the panning. For some reason, this one didn't. It happens. So let's get started. I wanted to use the draft file because it had a lot of stuff where we can kind of play around with, where the final project you may not learn as much through the Final project because a lot of my plugins I had kind of switched differently. It's more advanced. Again, is all in the course. So when you go into that, if you want to get into the advanced stuff, it's going to be in the course. We're not going to cover too much advanced things here. We're just going to do the basics. I wouldn't say the basics. I would say this is more intermediate, not basic. All right, so I'm going to cut everything off to shut off your channels or your plugins. You want to turn this like that. And that sounds good. Let's see how that sounds.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time.
You'll notice that I have spaces in between this stuff. The reason why I have that, because he was breathing. When you ever have parts when you're rapping, you're like, you know, or you're like, or I don't know, any kind of sound effects you make with your mouth before you're about to speak or say something, you might want to go ahead and cut that out. And that's what I did here. I cut it out. I'm going to let you hear how I cut this out. And this kind of goes in with noise gate, because the noise gate will cut this out too, but it's not as... You want to be really accurate with it. So now if you hear this, I'm gonna take the beat out and you'll hear what I mean.
I would grind, it ain't nothing, cut a bitch off, I don't got time. And like the sun, I just always manage to shine.
You see how he's breathing before he says his lines, because, you know, you get out of breath and you like, and you say stuff like, you know, you don't, it's like that. So it happens, and that's why when we get into the editing, we cut that stuff out. Now listen.
For I would grind, it ain't nothing, cut a bitch off, I don't got time. And like the sun, I just always manage to shine.
It sounds like it's cutting it off, but when we put the music with it, now listen.
I would grind, it ain't nothing, cut a bitch off, I don't got time. And like the sun, I just always manage to shine. So
can't even tell. All right, so with the noise gate, what you want to do, we're going to flip it on. I'm going to flip it off. I want you to hear it without the noise gate first.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit.
Now I'm going to tell the noise gate on.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine.
Here's the thing. I didn't even have to put the noise gate in. He has a very good microphone. Not everybody has a very good microphone. You may hear noise in the background, may hear a dog barking, may have some kids downstairs talking, having fun. You may just have a high blasting air condition and you're trying to rap in a room. Noise gate is your best friend for that stuff. He has a good mic and he has a good audio acoustics treatment in his area. I don't know if he's rapping in a closet. I don't know how this dude did it, but if you want to check out his music, the link is in the description. You can check out his stuff. But yes, he used a very good mic and sound treatment to make it sound very well. So you really don't need the noise gate in this situation, but if you have that problem, the noise gate will be your best friend. So, and don't mind me, I'm just checking off everything. So we're gonna go into the compression, my friend. So let's play that one more time. It's kind of like smelling different colognes and perfumes. You gotta smell it again, and then you gotta smell some coffee beans to kind of reset your palate. So we're gonna go ahead and play this again.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time.
Now I'm gonna put the end compressor. Now the end compressor is not a plugin that comes with GarageBand 10. I offer it with the course for free. Or, you know, you can use the compressor that comes with GarageBand 10, but it sucks. The GarageBand 10 compressor sucks. You're not going to be able to do much of anything of any type of quality with it. That's just the honest truth. I'm sorry. I don't mean to break this type of news to everyone, but you have to have some type of third-party plug-in for end compressor and M compressor for end compressor for a compressor, and to make it sound professional. Now listen to it.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time.
See, it just brings all that up. It brings it all up. And you want that to happen when you're doing the EQ, you want to do your compressor first and then do the EQ. Now, there's been some debate. They said, well, does it matter? What if you did the EQ first and then do the compressor? I've seen both. I've done both. I just like to work in a consistent order when I'm mixing, and I always start with the compressor first. I want the volume to be high enough so where I can hear all the frequencies and the EQ. That's the whole thing. Simple as that. I'll pull up the in compressor. You can see my settings that I use. So if you happen to have this plugin, you'll know exactly what to use. You can copy and paste. You can tweak it wherever you want. You have the gain, which is the volume. You have the output gain, which is also part of the volume. You want to make sure you tweak those at the right point. You have the ratio, which is highly important. You have the attack is important, and the release is important. You can save these presets and use them over and over and over, or you can save the whole preset of all these plugins right here, and you can just name it whatever the hell you want. It's pretty awesome. It saves time. Boom, go to dynamite. There's the explosion. You got it. So we're gonna move to the next thing. And again, this stuff is I'm giving it to you very fast. Because I know you're not going to sit on here for 4 hours on YouTube watching the tutorial on how to really mix everything, but it's enough information to get you started. If you want to know the whole scope of everything, again, check out the link in the description, and you'll be able to see every single aspect of the compression and how it works, the background, how I got started, to the where you want to use compression, because sometimes you may not use the same compression for the hook that you would use for the rap verse, or you may not use the same compression levels for an R&B song that you would use for a hip-hop song or for a pop song. All the compressions are going to be different. The settings are going to be different. Everything's going to be different. And on top of that, the beat kind of governs how the compression and the volume is going to work. So you may not use the same compression for the same rap song with a different beat. It's so deep. Again, I don't have time to get into all that, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing. Peoples, I hate when I can't find something to write with. This is irritating. All right, so next thing is we're gonna do equalization, EQ. So I set up his EQ. I'm gonna go into this. I talk about EQ probably as one of the biggest subjects in the course. It's actually one of my favorite, but it's also the most content-heavy topic in this discussion when you're trying to learn how to mix, period. Let alone learn how to mix in GarageBand, which is super easy, actually. So I set his EQ like this. This is very unusual for me to set this like this. I'll show you exactly how I would normally set it up. It would be something like this, because the red part is the part where the lower end vocals need to get cut off. So we roll it off at this point because we don't really want the low end of his vocals to come out, because we want every frequency to be in its own designated place to make it sound whole, like an orchestra. You don't want the drums with the trumpets chilling and doing the same thing. It's not going to sound right. You don't want the clarinets and the tubas trying to hit the same key. It's not going to be right. It's not right. So you got to have everything in its own frequency category section. You always want to think about that. And we'll touch on that in panning as well. But long story short, this would be something that you would probably want to set your verses up with, or most of your vocals, actually. I use stuff like this. These are custom. I may do something like this if I want a little bit more of the bass of the voice to come out, maybe for a female voice. This is more common. They even have presets here. You'll notice that this is more for like maybe pop, alternative, songs and stuff like that. Yeah, the presets are okay. They're not too bad, but a lot of times what you want to do is, let's say I do a backup vocal and I want to I'll keep playing the verse on loop, which you just hit that for to loop it. And as I'm playing it, I'll just scan and see what I feel sounds right. I'm looking for problem areas when I do scanning for EQ. So I'm looking for stuff is it too nasal? Is it too muddy? If it's too muddy, we need to go into the yellow and pull that down. If it's not hitting the high notes right, we need to go to the purple and pull that just a little bit up. Your vocals are going to be in the blue. That's where most of the sound of the voice is. It's going to be in the blue and a little bit in the green. So you want to really pay attention to those sections, and you want to pay attention to the red section. If you hear that muddy, that it's not crisp, I guess is the best word. If it's not crisp, you may want to pull this yellow down a little bit. That's that. Again, I just gave it to you in like a 60-second spill. It's much deeper than that, but we just don't. We're going to speed this up. So this is just like I said, it's like a fruit snack. If you want the whole, you want the 3-course meal, you know where to go. Now let's go back. We're going to keep this like it is. I'm going to turn that on, and I'm just going to go ahead and check this. Now, reverb and echo, you see these knobs down here. I don't play with them. I don't touch them. I don't even tickle them. I don't do anything with those because they're useless. They're useless. There's no point of using them. If you want to do some echoing, use an audio unit. Or if you want to do some reverb, use the proper audio unit. So the proper audio unit I use for the reverb is the Platinum Delay. And I use Perfecto. Again, I'm using custom stuff because I know what I want it to sound like, and the presets don't deliver that package to me in a timely manner. So I use my own stuff, and I save it as my own preset. But they do have factory presets. If you don't want to play around with the settings, or you're kind of unsure, you can't get it to sound right, you can always use the low soft reverb. It's safe, I guess. If you don't want to use Platinum Reverb, then I'm gonna go back to this one. You're probably gonna want to use an ancient relic from the past, which would be, I haven't used this in ages, which would be this legacy plugin. And that one, you see I got custom ones here, but you probably want to use a plate. The plate would be the safest. Here's the caution. I caution you, and I say this in my course. If you're having echo like you hear right now that I'm talking, or you don't have the proper sound treatment. Now, I usually use headphones, but I want to hear what's being mixed really well. But in some tutorials, I'll still use my headphones. You won't hear all this echo. But if you're rapping, singing, or doing whatever you do, and you hear echo, you do not want to touch the reverb. You don't want to touch any plate reverb or anything. You want to stay clear because you already got reverb. What's the point of putting reverb on top of reverb? It's like putting cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese, and there's the burger. You gonna eat that? You gonna eat that? No, you're not gonna eat that. So anyway, so we don't want to do that. So that's that. As far as echo concerned, I use a very interesting plugin. It's called a stereo delay. This actually helps with panning. It helps keep that verse, that vocal, not sound karaoke or sound like you're rapping on top of the beat, and it's like you're rapping through the beat. You want to rap through the beat. You want the music and the verse to be through. You don't want to sound like you're rapping on top of it like back in the day when we used to rap or sing when the boombox is there and you got the tape player playing and you got another boombox playing the instruments and stuff. You don't want that. No one wants to hear that. You want stuff to be quality because your sound has to be of top quality or at least close to it for people to listen to it. You can be, I don't care, you can be Jay-Z, you could be Beyonce, sing your heart out. Some people may not just hear it because the quality is crap. And like, man, that's horrible. And it's not that you're horrible, it's just that the quality was horrible. Once you can get that quality there, then people are going to listen to you. So you definitely want to make sure you're using the right plugin. Stereo delay will make that first sound clean, crispy. You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so touch is another custom I use. Standards, another custom I use. Factories, none of these work. You can try it if you want to. I actually had to use it on his hook. I used like one of these, and I still hated it. I was like, this don't sound right. So I had to tweak it. Even tweak the preset. I had to go back in, put the preset in, and tweak it. It's a mess. So I use touch. Those are the settings I use for touch, and that would add that type of nice little bit of echo, but not too much echo. And this touch is a really good one. I have to say, touch my settings here. That's pretty good for everything. High pass. It's another one I use because I want to kill that low end of the voice of the vocal. Just kind of extra protection. It's like a shield, just in case the EQ is not catching it. I put the high pass in there. So that way only the higher frequencies are being played and not the low ends. The audio parameters, equalizer, or paramedics. It's the paramedics. Go! Someone's had a heart attack. I'm sorry. I don't even need this. The only reason why you would use this, I'm going to show you. I actually can delete it and you would not know the difference. The only reason why you would use the paramedics is that if the voice is very much suffering, and I mean suffering, a good quality sound. And so it could be because of the mic. I think paramedics was an ancient relic from the old GarageBand. So I use a lot of the old plugins because the old plugins are better than the new ones. So like you would do something like this if you have some struggles with that medium frequency of the voice. You want to push that up. You'll know when you have it because it'll just sound low. It'll just sound like it's real low and not as clean. I may have to do a separate video on paramedics. I don't even cover that in the course too deeply. But the parametrics, thank you, parametrics equalizer is definitely good for getting those, just adding that extraness to it, the extraness. All right, and now I'm making up words. All right, let's continue. And I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to turn these three off. We're going to play, and I'm going to play it and let you hear the difference as I'm adding them.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh because I know it'll come in time.
All right, so that's the stereo delay. That's what you're hearing now. I'm going to put that reverb in. This is just a touch. It's a dab, like a little sprinkle there.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh because I know it'll come in time.
All right, now we're going to add a high pass. I did pretty good with taking out the low end of the frequency of the EQ, so you may not notice the difference with the high pass.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh because I know it'll come in time.
Actually, you can tell the difference. That was pretty good. Again, with the parametrics, you won't tell the difference with this.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh because I know it'll come in time.
All right. So the last but not least is the Rough Rider. It is not the group back in the day. This is actually a third-party plugin. It comes with it comes with the course, but I have to say, this is probably one of the best compressor plugins I've ever seen, next to the M compressor. Yes, I'm using two compressors. I'm using two compressors on one verse. That's how serious it is. So this is also called the Midas Touch. Now my custom settings for this Rough Rider plugin is the Midas Touch. You do have presets. If you're rapping, you're going to want to use NY compression. It's good. It's not as good as my own preset or my own settings, Midas Touched, but NY compressor is a good starting point, and then tweak it how you want it. It's a great compression. If you're doing rock and roll, you probably want to go with Gone Nuclear. If you're singing and you want to use this plugin, you probably can go with Just a Touch. If you're doing any type of singing, R&B, pop, country, it doesn't really matter. You can do Just a Touch. That's what from my experience. But I use Midas Touch because, like I said, I know what I want. I know what I want to hear. So I kind of stay clear of the presets. So that's the Rough Rider. So let's see how it sounds with that. And you'll notice with Rough Rider, it takes that volume a little bit down too, and it makes it more refined, more constrained.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh because I know it'll come in time.
See? So that's that. Because I know everyone's like, man, it's loud. Why is it so loud? It's because the Rough Rider The M compressor takes it up, the Rough Rider takes it down. Just keep that in mind. All right. Flavio was wondering about pitch correction, auto tuning. I'm gonna show you what that sounds like with the hook. So this is how it sounds normally.
Grinding out every dime.
If you want to auto tune, you click on the scissors, and then you'll click on. I don't want that. And then you click on this track here. You want to have it enabled, flex enabled. You want to take this all the way to the end, and then you'll hear how it sounds.
Grinding out every dime. Yeah. Grinding out every dime.
I just realized I haven't done auto tuning in a long time since the original GarageBand 10 came out. There's one last step to make this sound auto tune. Is you have to do limit to key, and also you do want to know. Here, hang on. Let's change that. You do want to know the key that the whole melody is on, because you got to change that. There is a program that I mentioned in the tutorial in the course. That's in the link in the description. It is a separate program that basically you upload the melody into the program, and it tells you exactly what key is in, and then you go back into GarageBand.
It's 7 o'clock.
It's 7 o'clock. I wish I had turned that off. Anyway, you would take and change the key. So if it's like B major or whatever, you'll change it, and then you do limit the key. That's limited. That way your voice never changes the key is in. So now it should sound auto-tune.
Grinding out every dime.
There you go.
Yeah. Grinding out every dime.
See, now it's auto-tune. Of course, I'm not going to keep it like that unless he wants it like that. But that's it. That's auto-tune right there. That's it. It's really
Grinding
easy.
out every dime.
Very easy to do auto-tune on GarageBand 10. All right, so let's get back to the hell we're doing. We're almost done. I do appreciate everyone bearing with me here. I cover a lot. We cover a lot together. The second to the last thing we're going to cover is panning. Funny as it is, I'm going to play this together, and so you can hear the difference.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time.
You can feel it. You can just feel it. It's not right. We're going to take the pan up to 5 to the right. We're going to pan 5 to the left. Now listen.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time.
A lot better. If you want to pan a little bit more, you can. It'll actually add more depth to the verse. Just make sure you're not panning past 10. That gets kind of ridiculous. If you have background vocals or supporting vocals, you can pan that far to like the 20s or 30s. But the main lead vocals, don't pan it. I would almost say, this to be on the safe side, don't pan it past 5. And then if you want to add a center, like if I want to duplicate this and make it into 3 and have 1 in the center and 2 on the side, you can do that. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure it sounds right. Of course you know what you're doing because you're doing it. But just make sure it sounds right and play around with it. That's what's so fun about this. Just making new, different methods of ways to make your music sound professional.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time.
Yeah, that sounds way better, actually. I'm gonna throw the music in. Let's see how that sounds.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time. And I brought this at work, call it double time. In other words, it's a 24-hour grind. It ain't nothing, cut a bitch off, I don't got time. And like the sun, I just always manage to shine. So ease up, every time they see me, they always seem to ease up. I'm the new kid in town, so I might stick around. Reverse everything that you did, turn it into my shit. VAY, CAY, y'all be doing this to till the day I die, trying to be in first place in this really big race. Like ready, set, go, on your marks, already falling apart, man, wasted my time and
all right, so we're gonna go ahead and change it back to the time. Let's click it on that. Last but not least is the master mix. What I would recommend doing, I turned all these on except the limiter. If you turn on the limiter, you'll see how this sounds. It's like that.
I've been grinding out every dime, stacking it just to shine. I sit back and laugh, cause I know it'll come in time. And
I bet no one that's watching this video could tell a difference. All right, so EQ. When you go and do the final mix, you go into the EQ, go to mastering, and you just basically select what genre of music you're doing. You're doing ballad, you're doing dance, hip hop, pop, rock. You change it into mastering the vocals because you want everything to be mastered. We've done, man. Is this it? We finished, I think. Yep, that's it. That's how you mix music. That's a really quick tutorial on YouTube. I'll post this on Udemy as well. And if you're able to do some great stuff with this, that's great. But if you want to get deeper and you're like, how you do hooks, how do you do the talking at the beginning and between the music, I'm gonna show you that. Watch this.
There was a long piece in there called "The Planet is Fine, the People are Fucked." We'll be gone. Dinosaurs had their chance. There was an age of reptiles. Now it's the age of primates.
There's a way you got to make that voice sound just like that. If you're interested in learning how to do that and how to mix talking in your music and what settings to use, comment below. I'll make a separate video for that. If you're interested in voice acting, mixing your voice acting recordings, doing your own demos, stuff like that, and how to do that and how to make it sound good in GarageBand, comment below. I'll make a video if there's enough comments. Other than that, we're done. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I will periodically make videos every week or every other week. But most importantly, definitely jump into the Facebook group. That's where I can really answer any questions you have and be able to help you guys with music. And if you don't want to learn how to make music and you're just like, man, I don't have time, I work, I play outside sometimes. I don't have time to get inside the house and make music. Oh my God. Sometimes I joke around too much. I'm sorry. If you just don't have time to make music, then contact me and we'll get it cracking. I don't want to see someone's dream just go fizzle out of outer space because they didn't have time to pursue it. Because forget the 9 to 5, forget all the other stuff. What's most important in life is that you live and you do your passion and you fulfill your goals in life. You know, and not even your goals, but your passion, what you're passionate about. So if I can help people get to their passion, that's all I care about. I don't care about any of this stuff, other stuff, making money or any of that stuff. I don't care about making money. I just care about helping people reach their passion. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and end this session out. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
just always manage to shine. So he's up every time they see me, they always seem to freeze up.